Hi, this is David K, and you're listening to Altered Geek. Geek.
Get altered, get geeky, it's a wild ride. Join the discussion, let's dive into lore. From Star Trek to Transformers, we're ready to soar. Superheroes clash as we spark up the flame. Altered Geek Podcast, remember the name.
Hello and welcome to Altered Geek. I'm your host, Steve Megatron, and joining me on this adventure into the geekdom of pop culture is TFG1 Mike.
Yes, I am here. We are no longer waiting, folks, because we are we are 50 to 500 now. We are officially on the road to 500 episodes of this podcast. Oh boy.
And then when we get to the five remaining, then we just do $5.
$5 holla holla.
No, foot long. Subway.
Yeah, that too.
I only bring that up and it's only in my head because I had a market or a company that sells a product send a survey to me this week going, what ear jingles don't irritate you? If we were to do our own ear jingle, what are some of your favorite ear jingles of commercials over the last, however many years? And they had some like the Folgers in your cup and where's the beef and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, are we going retro here? And I was like, I remember we did a whole episode on commercials. So I had a whole plethora rundown of just old commercials that, I thought were, I was like, if you want to talk more, I was like, let me know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I had 20 of them.
Yeah.
So that was one of them, sadly, and I just was like, they don't make commercials like that anymore. They're pretty stupid nowadays.
Yep.
There's nothing that earworms, and just gets stuck in your head. Everything's kind of just meh. It's a commercial. It's forgettable. Other than Super Bowl stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I found this comedy thing, but it's Make Some Noise. I found it through Instagram or through somewhere. It's Sam Reich, and he used to do Game Changers, but they do Make Some Noise now. And it was Ross Bryant, and Ross he's a great comedian. And one of the things he did was, because Sam gives all the comedians prompts, and he gave Ross a prompt of, what if McDonald's had a new sandwich, the Macbeth? So then Ross goes into this. It's hilarious. I've got to send. I thought I sent this shit to you before, but he goes into this whole thing. This is a couple of years ago but I found this I don't know how long ago I found this, but anyway, I found it a year after it had come out or whatever. Anyway. And he goes into this whole thing of what this would be and whatever else. But at the end of it, he goes, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. And it cracks up the rest of the whole panel. And of course, because that jingle is just one that we know, they're never not going to use that. And it's just yeah. And advertising doesn't the other thing is, I don't really watch a lot of ads anymore. For the last, I would say 4.5 to 5 years, but I know it's been longer. I have done my due diligence and done my best to remove ads from my life, whether that's through having to pay for ad-free content or not. I just want the content. I don't need the advertisements. I see enough advertisements. And yeah, but just in marketing in general, when I do see commercials, it's really? You guys couldn't be more creative than this? I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. But yeah, 450. We are on the road to 500. Altered Geek. Holy crap. Like I mentioned in the other episode that we did for this show, I think it was episode 447 or 44. I forget which one it was. It was one of them. Wow. Holy crap. But yeah, what else did you want to bring up before we get through to the news? You said you had something else that you wanted to bring up.
I don't remember now.
Oh God!
But, outside of like, outside of like the Waze voices, like
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the way. Yep.
Yeah, I've been having fun with the Waze app again now that I figured out how to get Kevin Conroy's voice back on it. We were. Let me back up a little bit. To preface this, I downloaded the app strictly because we were on a road trip and we kept hitting dirt roads and we wanted to avoid dirt roads, but unfortunately Google does not let you do that. Waze on the other hand, well, we got on a really dicey road that we should have never been on. And we have all-wheel drive in the vehicle we drove, and we were on like a camping trip. However, it quickly turns dicey and it becomes a one-lane road, and there's a sudden drop-off on the other side.
Yikes.
And there's two-way traffic. So there's an occasional passing lane, and whoever's on the one side has to back up. So I was not a fan. And unfortunately, we had gotten ourselves into this one area to climb a mountain, which is a 14er and 14,000 foot mountain. And this particular spot had three of them nearby, one of which we climbed. And then we were talking to some of the people and they're like, oh, if you thought that was hectic, they were like, that's the warm up. If you go the other direction, they're like, that is the actual 4-wheel drive road. And we're like, oh, so we're not going to make it down that path.
We're not going that way.
No, we didn't. And so we went back the other direction, but it was like I was white knuckling it for a little bit. And then after a while, I was like, okay, I think I got this. And thankfully, we didn't have to pass too many people. And where there were, I had the sufficient space for there was an actual pull off. So I was safe there. So suffice it to say, we didn't want to get on another dirt road. And so I downloaded Waze. We did that. I avoided dirt roads, and it added more time because of it and things like that. And when I got home, I'm like, what I did like about it was you could have it. You could have it avoid tolls. You could have it. Don't allow unpaved roads. You can have it. There were just all kinds of different things, but it also tells you if there's those speed traffic cams.
Yep.
Or police, or like Google will tell you if there's like police nearby, but it's not vocal about it.
No.
Waze is like, it makes a point of being like, law enforcement ahead, or, just whatever. And, or if there's a traffic cam, it's like speed trap ahead, and so I didn't want to listen to the goofy voice that comes with it. So I turned on to the Master Chief as the key voice to begin with. And, and so I went through that, and cause it comes with a crap ton of different, voices and things. And I'm like, I don't really care about half these, voices that come with it, pre-built. And the only one that was even remotely something, because it's like, okay, I don't want the Jonas Brothers. I don't want dad jokes. I don't want, Alien, or, a clown, or,
I couldn't even imagine what dad jokes would be for driving directions. Come on
I'll probably try that tomorrow. Now, there is a Minions one, but I can't see how that would be helpful.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you're like, speed trap or whatever, it's like yeah. So I was like, okay. And then they have Nate Bargatze or Paddington. They've got all these other people that I have no idea who they are. World of Warcraft. And then the only thing I recognized was I was like, okay, Master Chief. I've met the dude. Yeah. I'm good with that. Although they do have Ray Stantz.
Yeah, from Ghostbusters. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, Dan Aykroyd. Not too bad. So anyways, I got home and I'm like, there's got to be a way to get Kevin Conroy back on there, because the whole reason I downloaded it originally years ago
was because it was because he was there. Yeah.
And then they had it for like a 3 month promotion with WB, and then it was just gone. They removed it from the app, and I was like, this is horrible. Like, I don't care about your app anymore. Like, I literally downloaded it so I could have Kevin Conroy barking at me. Like, and so anyways, I went looking online. I ended up finding like this Reddit page, and somebody had, through like the magic of modern, phone downloading.
Yes.
Because somebody had old versions for older phones that it would work. But like for this, I was like, okay, there's got to be some. So anyways, I downloaded, like, I have Neil Patrick Harris, I have Arnold Schwarzenegger, I have Liam Neeson, Morgan Freeman, Lightning McQueen, Toy Story 4, Jarvis, and then I got the Riddler, and I got Batman. And those two are still my favorite too.
Yeah.
Because the Riddler's sarcastic, and Batman's like, he's like, speed trap ahead. Not as hidden as, or not as good as one of the or better than one of the Riddlers, or something. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, okay, like, I need to pay attention up here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, it was, and I don't even have to have a map going. Like, I just plug it in to my vehicle, and he just talks, like, when it's
Just
pertinent.
yeah.
And so, like, I was like, okay, this is super helpful. So, like, I've had Kevin Conroy telling me how to drive, as the Batman, and so it's been fun.
Folks, the man's been gone for 3 years now, and it's this kind of stuff that we do to keep his memory alive. I want that to be the key takeaway from this story, because he's been gone for 3 friggin' years as of this coming November. Damn it.
I know. Dude's like, he's a legend.
Yeah. He always will be.
Legend of the Dark Knight.
That's right. So you've got Kevin Conroy giving you directions in your car, and then somebody else on Instagram had a green screen jacket. Again, look, folks, I just spend days sometimes just doom scrolling Instagram reels, and some of the stuff I come across, I cringe at. Some of the stuff I laugh at. Some of the stuff I just ignore. This, I was like, okay, we got to at least mention it. It doesn't need to go any further other than a mention, but it's a guy wearing a jacket that has green screen material, and they basically put the weather map on his jacket.
Not that I haven't seen that before, but it's still humorous every time you see it happen, because they're like, somebody's clearly having fun with this.
Exactly. And again, you go back to the whole advertising thing of advertisements used to be. Again, you go back to me wanting you to build me a model to scale of the brick wall. Hey, Kool-Aid smashes through a brick wall. Oh, yeah. Advertisements used to be cool. This, used to be fun. It's stuff like this. The green screen of jackets is like, that was hilarious. I thought that was fun. But the news that we are starting with is something that I don't know if anyone needs this. And I don't know how, I have Roku, but only because it's built into my television. So I've told this story before, and I'm going to tell it again, because every episode is somebody's new episode. So if you're new to Altered Geek and you've never heard me say this before, you're welcome. If you have heard me say this before, fast forward about 5 minutes. In 2018, Karen and I got each other not matching, but opposite presents for each other, and they were tech presents. She wanted a new laptop, and I wanted a future-proof TV. At the time, I got a Sharp 55-inch 4K television, and that came with Roku built in. Roku, in their infinite wisdom, is going to be launching a new ad-free streaming service for $2.99 a month. Why? Roku is launching a streaming service called Howdy. What?
Isn't
What?
Roku already a streaming device?
It is, but they're okay. Yes, it is. Roku is a streaming device. They're also built some bleh. Slow down and talk right, Mike. Because Roku is built in automatically to some TVs, you don't need an extra streaming device. It's already there, kind of thing. So it's kind of like how what's another thing that has a separate box? I don't know. Anyway, Roku is essentially what cable used to be, kind of thing. Like you can turn on the Roku channel or the Roku service, and you have all these options to watch within Roku. So, but there are ads. And now they're offering this ad-free tier, essentially, but they're calling it an ad-free subscription service called Howdy. Why are they, like, out of all the information that this article from TechCrunch could give me here, I'm going to finish reading this first, but the service will cost $2.99 per month and features a library of nearly 10,000 hours of content from its partners, including Lionsgate, Warner Brothers, Discovery, FilmRise, alongside select Roku original titles. The company says subscribers will be able to watch titles like Mad Max Fury Road, The Blind Side, Weeds, and Kids in the Hall, as well as rom-coms, medical dramas, 90s comedies, and the like. Howdy is an ad-free designed to complement, not compete with premium services, said Roku founder and CEO Anthony Wood in a press release. The move comes 2 months after Roku paid $185 million to acquire Friendly TV, a streaming service that offers free live TV, on-demand video, and cloud-based DVR. Howdy joins the company's Roku channel. It's free ad-supported fast streaming service. A recent report found that the Roku channel's most popular fast service ahead of competitors Tubi and Pluto TV. More than 125 million people use the platform every day, Roku says. I still use Tubi. But anyway.
I like Tubi.
Yeah, the thing with this is, what I want to know is why is it called Howdy? Like, where did that name come from?
I think somebody watched the shark in Toy Story, and put a cowboy hat on and went, howdy, 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 howdy.
Oh God!
I kid, but we get enough streaming services. I feel like these are getting ridiculous.
Oh, we've got a whole.
They should have honestly should have just branded it Roku or Roku Plus, something that at least told you what it's associated with.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we've got way too many streaming services at this point. Yeah, I mean, Amazon, they're like, oh, we have everything. But then what they don't tell you is whatever is not on Prime, you have to pay for.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like they're an added subscription to another service. Like there's no.
Yeah, absolutely. So next we have the more streaming stuff. So remember years ago, Steve, when we did Netflix, Hulu, and Quickster? It was GCR episode 28 or 29, and we got death threats over it
because we didn't cover Hulu.
Exactly.
I was like, you got to be kidding.
But
the thing is like Hulu also like didn't have anything. at the time.
They
And
did,
I think
but
they were like,
they
did, but it wasn't Netflix, and so therefore it wasn't relevant. Like I didn't find it relevant anyway.
Hulu was just starting out. It was an ABC thing because it was also a Disney thing. And it was mainly where, honestly, when Hulu started, and I was a Hulu subscriber back then, up until a year or so ago. The thing was, that's where ABC didn't. I want to say dumped, but they didn't really dump their programming. But that's where, hey, did you miss this on ABC last night because you fell asleep in front of the TV? Watch it next day on Hulu. That's what it was for. It was for next day television watching. It was for, whatever. And then they slowly increased it and added more things. And that's where it was. And then in 2019, when Disney was like, well, we're going to do our own streaming service, and we're going to do Disney Plus, and we're going to do all this and all that. Well, fast forward all these years later, Hulu app to be phased out as Disney is fully integrating service into Disney Plus. Say ciao to the standalone Hulu streaming app. Disney said it's fully integrating the Hulu service, which now owns 100% to its flagship Disney Plus streamer. New unified Disney Plus and Hulu streaming app will be available in 2026. The company said, according to Disney rep, consumers will still be able to buy a standalone Hulu subscription as well as a standalone Disney Plus plan. Today, we are announcing a major step forward in the strengthening of our streaming offering by fully integrating Hulu into Disney Plus. CEO Bob Iger and CPO Hugh Johnston said in a prepared commentary on the media giant's quarterly earnings call that will create an impressive package of entertainment pairing the highest caliber brands, yada, yada, yada. The single Disney Plus app with Hulu will deliver improved customer experience, which will lower churn, which will what? Whatever. In their prepared remarks, the Disney execs said, by creating a truly differentiating streaming offering, we will be providing subscribers tremendous choice. Tremendous choice. I love that word, considering what we're going to talk about later. And then the follow-up I have to that, the follow-up I have to that is, what does Disney and Hulu and Disney Plus to combine into one app? What does that mean for Hulu-only users? Same thing. Hulu was added to Disney Plus in 2024, but still exists as a standalone service. Disney completed its acquisition of Hulu in June of 2025. Now owns the service in full. Previously owned a majority. Trying to figure out when it's going to shut down. Price breakdowns have not yet been revealed. Currently, Hulu's ad-supported plan costs $9.99 a month or $9.99 a year. $99.99 a year. Its ad-free plan costs $18.99 a month. Okay. Oh, that's okay. So the Hulu Plus live TV service will reportedly be combined with Fubo. What? Does Disney own Fubo too? Hulu Plus Live TV and Fubo brands will continue to be sold and marketed separately, but Disney told Variety that the Hulu Plus Live TV will eventually be folded into. Okay, it's all going to fold into Disney Plus in 2026.
Whatever. It just means they're going to go up in price.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know. They're all going to go up in price, and like we've talked about many times before, between Warner Brothers Discovery and Disney, they own everything when it comes to entertainment. because Disney has all one side and Warner Brothers has all of the other side, kind of thing. So yeah. Yeah. That's that. And then did you see the teaser for Spider-Man Brand New Day?
Yes.
That wasn't a teaser. That was a suit reveal.
Pretty much.
So in our document, folks, I have 2 links here. Spider-Man Brand New Day teaser is here. That's not a teaser. This is a teaser. And I give a separate link to a separate video. And it's basically the behind the scenes day one shooting video. That's more of the behind the scenes stuff is more of a teaser to me than a costume reveal. Oh my God, these people don't. And then you had the TJ Hooker news.
Yeah, I used to watch this strictly from the perspective of I am a Star Trek fan, and it's William Shatner, and it was in the 80s.
Right.
And the name is stupid, but because they called him Hooker. But I don't know how I feel about this. Just, I get it. Like they always do like a one-off film of every, I mean, we've gotten a lot of old TV series from 60s, 70s, 80s that have been redone as a one-off film. Dukes of Hazzard and Chips and various other films. It doesn't surprise me. And Netflix may do okay with it. I mean, they did good with Beverly Hills Cop 4. So, I mean, I got to give them the benefit of the doubt here. Yep. That being said, it would really depend who they got to play the title character.
Yeah.
Because they would almost need... I'm not saying like the 3 that they have on here. I'm not saying that they need to look or act like the original character, original actors. But I wouldn't be opposed if they had played, different versions of them. Like Chris Pine playing TJ Hooker or something. Something to where there's some form of difference, star continuity, something. Yeah. I don't know. But I don't know how I feel about it. I'm just kind of leaving it right there. But I'm cautious and optimistic, but not cautiously optimistic. Like I don't know. It's I'll wait and see what happens. The pair that are sharing co-writing credits on this are the people that did Yes Man, Jim Carrey's film.
Oh, very cool.
So, and I enjoyed that film. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. So, yeah, it's not something I just run to rewatch, but I do enjoy it from time to time. So, I mean, I'm okay. Like, I mean, everybody's going to try something different from time to time. You get started on films that maybe don't do so hot. So, I mean, I get it. I'm okay, and I do want to see it. So I'm hoping that this does what they're expecting. But this was just something I caught, and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me! Another reboot. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Everything's a reboot of a reboot of a reboot of a reboot
of a reboot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everything's made equally, though.
No, not really. All right, something we don't talk about enough on this program is tech stuff. Google, we are 2 days away from Made by Google because that's happening on August 20th, and they are going to unveil and give us all the details and show off the Google Pixel 10s. The Pixel 10, Pixel 10 Pro, the Pixel 10 Pro XL, the Pixel 10 Fold. I have the Pixel 7 Pro. Originally, I had the Samsung Galaxy S9 when I first started my path back to the smartphone side of things, coming from dumb phones. And when I switched in 2021 from that to when Google launched the brand new Pixel 6 line and they unveiled the new, Daft Punk Tron-like the whole new redesign they did for the Pixel 6 line. I was like, oh, cool. Very, very awesome. And then the 7 came out and I was like, okay, it's not exactly as cool as the 6. And I like, at this point, I usually just keep my phone in the case most of the time, unless I have to take it out to take specific photos. And I think Google, along with every other smartphone company, is once they find a design, they just continually refine it. And like, we're not in... Google did the thing already. They did the game changer with the Pixel 6 and basically shocked the world with the Tron-like visor thing. And they're like, okay, we did that. We have people sucked in. We have people in our ecosystem. Let's just give them gradual increments on the outside. And that's kind of what the Pixel 10 is now, as far as I can tell. For me, I want to change to I want to look into the foldable stuff. I haven't yet, but I want to. But yeah, so we're like I said, 2 days away from the Made by Google event. And I think a while ago, did you have the 4 XL? You had a Google phone at one point, right?
So I had the Pixel 3A XL, and Mary had, and she had the 3A. And then what happened is her phone, the battery was just dying too quick, and mine took a dive and the screen shattered, and I had to transfer my stuff to the 3A temporarily till we bought the Pixel 6A for both of us, which the A phones are basically the prior year's model. So like the 6A is almost like a mesh between most of the discount features of the previous year, and then you get some of the features of the new year. So like the 6A would have functions of the 5 and some of the 6, but mostly the 5. And so anyways, we had those, and I mean, I still have my Pixel 6A. They had an update that came out recently, and there was apparently a battery issue with the Google 6A, the Pixel, and some models had a defective battery to where they were overheating and could possibly explode.
Oh no, not again.
And the other issue with it was that they had it wouldn't charge.
Right.
So we did the update. My phone was fine. Mary's was not.
Oh no.
So we bought her because she does a lot of hiking in the mountains and does a lot of stuff to where, she's off the beaten path and off the grid. The new Pixel 9s, not the 9A, but the 9, the 9 Pro, the 9 Pro XL, and the 9 Fold, all have satellite modems built in.
Yep.
And I will say they do not work very well unless you're outside. Like, for instance, if you're using a Garmin, you can use it in the house.
Yep.
To connect to the satellite, track, and send a message. The Pixel, you cannot, nor can you with the iPhone, because we have friends that have that too. You have to have pretty much direct line of sight out in the open, and you have to be able to, connect it to a tower, which is the only unfortunate part, because if you're in an emergency, like you've fallen and hurt yourself or something, you're not going to be able to do that. Whereas the Garmin, there's a SOS button on the side.
Yeah, on the watch,
But anyways, we got her the 9 with the anticipation that, one, it's a better battery, better camera, better phone, but also it has the modem built into it with, the understanding that Google is going to be working on ways of making it better as time goes on. And so I still have the 6A. She has the 9. I'm looking forward to eventually getting the 10 or whatever model it ends up being when, my phone eventually kicks the bucket. But I wouldn't mind a foldable, but I don't necessarily trust it with the screens. Like, I'm afraid of the screen just junking out. Like, it's not like back in the day where we had the Motorola Razr 3, which was such an awesome phone. There are days I miss that phone because it was just cool. It was very Star Trek-y and futuristic, and nobody could reach you if you didn't want them to, because they had to call you.
Yes,
I mean, they could text you. They could text you too, but it was like, do I feel like doing the QWERTY keyboard? No.
No. Yeah.
It's like, I'm not responding. I mean, there's so much more functionality on the modern phones. Like, it's a mini computer in your hands, so like I can check everything from it. But there are some days I do miss my Motorola Razr phone, and I thought about getting the Motorola Razr, flip phone again with the new model.
The new model,
but I ultimately I was watching what was happening with a lot of flip phones, and I know the technology is getting better, and they're coming up with better crystal display stuff for them. But I still don't trust the technology yet.
So I think for me, again, as I mentioned, I have the Pixel 7 Pro, which is more than fine for me on a general basis. But the reason why I would want the 9 XL or the 10 XL coming up is because I want a slightly bigger screen specifically for comic reading. And this is only for that. That's the only reason why I want a bigger screen in my pocket. And the reason why I say that is because, and I'm not going a little bit of a rant here, make it short, but I'm going a little bit of a rant here. When Amazon did something stupid, I have over, what are we at? 12 years for the pull bag? Yeah,
something like
2025. Yeah, 12 years. I have. I started in 2014, so technically 11 years for. When we did Marvelous March in 2014 for the pull bag, there was a point where we were reviewing Welcome Back Frank, and I had went out and I found the physical copy of the omnibus of Welcome Back Frank, and Welcome Back Frank's omnibus is all 12 issues in one trade paperback, and that thing is essentially a 300 to 400 page book. It's heavy as hell. I fell asleep in my chair. It wasn't because of the content of the book. It was because of the heaviness, the weight of, hey, Doc, this is heavy. Great Scott, Marty, next Saturday night, blah, blah, blah. It was because of the weight of the book. The very next day, the 10 minutes after I woke up, I went and I talked with Lady of Rec, Amy, and I'm like, okay, what do I got to do to be on Comixology? What do I got to do this digital comic thing? Because I can't do print anymore. I went on to Comixology.com. I signed up and I started buying comics when I could afford them every month or whenever it was. And, the last 11 years, I have this entire library of comics. Well, at some point in whichever year it was, well, technically it was 2014, Amazon quietly bought Comixology.com and Comixology, and they over the years just kind of didn't do anything. And then they finally decided to do something, and they decided to make it Kindle Comics, and they decided to get rid of the Comixology website. The Comixology website friggin' worked. It functioned well. They didn't have to get rid of that website. All they had to do is just throw Amazon.com in front of it and just say Amazon.com/Comixology. Instead, what they did was they destroyed the website. They threw it all into Kindle Comics, which is a much worse on the computer, specifically on Windows, on any web browser. I don't care if it's Edge or Firefox or Chrome or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a much worse reading experience. So to bring it back to the tech and why I want either the 9 Pro XL or the 9 or the 10 Pro XL or hell, even the Fold, is because I want a bigger screen to read these comics, because it would look much better on a bigger screen that actually functions properly. And luckily the Kindle Comics, the Kindle app, does have the old Comixology guided view technology, and it actually functions properly on mobile, where it does not function properly on their website. That would be the only reason why that I would want it. But yeah, the foldable stuff, oh man. I watch so many tech reviewers review all of these things. Mr. Mobile, Michael Fisher, is one of the biggest proponents of foldable technology and foldable phones and stuff. He loves foldables. I will always bring him up when it comes to foldables. He always cautions people about them, but he always points out the positives of them, because he always wants the best foot forward in the future of foldables. And yeah, I cannot wait to see what he has to say about the Pixel 10 Fold, or the Pixel, whatever the name of the new Fold is going to be. I don't know what it's going to be off the top of my head, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing what Google has in store for us this week. The other thing, really quick, to tie this in and to get another rant off my chest, and we'll be done with this. I saw on Instagram, and I don't know why, somebody said something, oh, isn't there going to be a concert or something? And I'm like, I don't care if there's going to be a concert or not. Why the hell are you having Jimmy Fallon host this event? Look, I like Jimmy Fallon. He's an all right host. He's been hosting the Tonight Show forever. He's a semi-okay actor. He's been in a couple of movies that I like. He's a decent comedian when he wants to be. But I saw this ad for him being the host of the Made by Google event, and I'm like, why is Jimmy Fallon hosting a tech event? You could have had get somebody from the tech world to do this. Why isn't, and like every tech event that I've seen since I've been paying attention to tech full time since about late 2018, early 2019, it's always been insert company name here, whether it's Google events, Apple events, Samsung events, whatever. It's always been their own people hosting the events. When Steve Jobs was still alive, it was always Steve Jobs, and Steve would come on and say, hey, we have this musical guest doing this, blah, 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 blah. You never had celebrities come on to host a tech event. So it's going to be really interesting for me watching Made by Google this week. Anyway. Oh boy. Up next we got Meta Instagram. Okay. So it's not as bad as I thought it was initially, but Instagram has unveiled a new feature that share your location with friends on a map. Meta / Instagram's parent company announced that their new feature would allow users to share their location and see their friends' locations on a new map feature in the direct messaging portion of the app. Location sharing is not new to Instagram, and the app has always allowed people to share their location in their stories or in their posts. However, this new feature will share users' real-time locations. While some users are concerned about the safety of live location sharing, Meta has said that the sharing is optional and sharing is off unless you opt in. Instagram is not the first app to offer this, blah, blah, blah. And then the article that I have pulled up here from WCVB Channel 5 Boston gives you instructions on how to turn it off. I found Instagram stories from the Instagram account specifically with what they say about the feature. The feature is off by default. No one can see your location unless you choose to share it. Only people you follow back or a private custom list you select can see your location. You can turn this off at any time. If you see that you have shared your location in the past with Instagram via phone settings, it does not mean the map feature is turned on automatically or that people can see your location. It also goes to say, the reason you're seeing your story, post, or reel show up on the map is because you've tagged it with a location. It will appear on the map for 24 hours and does not share your real-time or live location. So they did clarify that. So any news story saying that it will show your live location, that's false information. It is not sharing live locations, at least not according to Instagram. I understand if people want to tag their location, but I've never, like, I saw a post the other day. It's like, okay, sure. Somebody posted something on one of the apps. I forget if it was Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Yes, I'm tagging my location, but I'm posting this now and I'll be gone from here by the time anyone sees this, or I'll be gone from here in 10 minutes. I'm like, then why post your oh God. Like I do check-ins on Facebook, like, because I know no one, like, nobody cares, and like nobody's gonna come get me at the doctor's office. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. But like, I don't know, dude. I think it's more of a thing of, oh my God, Instagram just. I think what everyone thought was that Instagram rolled this out and automatically turned it on. That was the problem. That was the assumption, that Instagram automatically turned on your live location. That was the assumption. Apparently, that obviously was not the case. Oh, God. Any thoughts?
I mean, I generally, like, I go through all of my devices with a fine-tooth comb.
Right.
As soon as, as soon as I get them, because I'm checking apps constantly. I'm making sure that they didn't turn something back on, which in a lot of cases they do. I don't like the location sharing because, one, it's kind of creepy, and two, I don't really care like about, having people know where, I don't want people knowing where I'm at. Like, I think it's kind of an invasion of privacy, for one, and two, it's like, I don't need somebody being like, oh, you're at work. Oh, you're at home. Oh, this is where you live. Like, it's
like,
I don't know. So I don't love the idea of it. Like, even your Google Photos, like, it has a geolocation built into them unless you turn that feature off.
Yeah.
Like, embedded in the file.
Yeah.
So, like, I've gone through, like, my wife's device, my device. Like, thankfully, when you transfer devices, it saves this, your app settings. when it transfers them. But I mean, I check all devices constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy. And again, like I said, like for me, I will, like when I go in for my carpal tunnel thing, I'll probably check in on Facebook just because I've been doing that for years. But I know nobody's going to show up to that place. Like, ain't nobody coming after me. Like, I'm not worth it, folks. And again, it's just a habit thing. But I completely understand, and yeah, like it is worrisome that, and again, we now live in this world where what if Meta and Instagram, and I follow what's his name, Mosseri, Adam Mosseri. I follow him on Instagram. I look at his stories sometimes, and I see what because I want to know what the guy who is the running Instagram. I want to know what he's doing. I want to know what Instagram as a platform is doing, because even though I don't do much on Instagram, I still want to stay informed. And out of all of the social media platforms that I'm on, he's the only person I really care about's opinion. The rest of them I don't. Well, like, because he just seems like he's the most honest out of all of them. I don't know. It's whatever. Anyway, social media is weird, folks. All right. Has streaming fatigue got you down? Let's start collecting DVDs again, which I've been doing since like 2019 again, pretty much.
I'm not gonna lie, I find this kind of entertaining because everything is relative again.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is written by Emma Roth from The Verge. She says, "Here I am at Walmart, elbow deep in decades of movies as other shoppers wheel by without so much as a glance. The bin, about 4 feet tall, is overflowing with DVDs to the point where I have to start piling them up on one side just to get anywhere near the center. I'm picking out the movies I'm going to indulge in over the weekend, shuffling through copies of Sonic the Hedgehog, an all-in-one of Ben Affleck movie collection, Gremlins, and a hodgepodge of other flicks. I pull out some old films I've never gotten around to watching, like The Ring and the Crank collection. Yes, I know I'm behind. And I toss them into my shopping. The variety in Walmart's DVD bin is seemingly endless, and for a price of about $5 per disc that you can hang on to forever, you can't really go wrong."
What I find interesting about this article is it's a year old and it's just now resurfacing. Because they're not $5. They're $5. They're $7.50 now.
Oh, Jesus! I didn't even look at the date. Oh God, I didn't even look at the.
Well, when I saw that, when I was re-looking through it and you were reading it, I was like, they're not $5. Like I frequent Walmart pretty often, and when I saw $5, I was like, this is old. And
oh shit, so, this is from February of 24.
Yeah. But what I find funny about it is that the fact that it's making the rounds again, regardless of what's being said in it, because in some regards DVDs do kind of suck. And I say that from the perspective of, if you want to go watch a bunch of stuff, like, you need your DVD player to be functioning properly. You need to make sure it's hooked up HDMI. You gotta physically go get the disc. Now, if you're looking for like all the special features and you want like full HD, because in some regards, like, unless you're on a service where they're allowing you to have full HD, you probably are not getting full HD, unless you're paying for it, like a Disney Plus or a Netflix. And so the other issue with streaming services are they've been known and shown to get rid of TV shows and films for no reason.
Absolutely.
Or at least no reason to the viewer. I know a lot of it's rights and things like that, or like, oh, so and so created their own streaming service, so we can't use that anymore. I will argue there's some instances where some things are better left to streaming, and then there's some instances where I'm like, I would rather own it because I love this show and I'd like to watch it more, you know.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, like it's a very double-edged sword, like weighing whether you want to have, you know, DVDs or not.
Yeah. I forgot how reflective my TV is. Okay, so when you sent me this article, I have been buying physical media again full time, like I said, since late 2018, early 2019. I went full hog in 2021 once because after Karen died, I'd already had the 4K TV for years, so I was already set there. And I needed a DVD player to play just regular DVDs that I had already. But at the same time, my brain was thinking, oh, I should future proof. I should this, I should that. So at the time, Walmart had a Sony 4K Blu-ray player for $150. This was like right around Christmas time of 2021. Literally, Karen had just died November 5th, right one day before her actual birthday. No, not one day before her birthday. A couple weeks before her birthday was November 27th. Anyway, so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yay, early Christmas present for me. So I still have that Sony Blu-ray 4K player with my 4K TV. Ever since then, I have been buying 4K discs when I can, off and on. I'm gonna, I can do this properly, correctly. God, I hope, oh good, it did work. There. Right there in the chat is the one photo, the only photo you really need to look at from the folder I sent over. That's the current collection I have of stuff. Now, there are, like, the Turtle set and the Viper set are not, they're just regular DVD releases. They're not Blu-ray, I don't think. The Las Vegas set is Blu-ray, and everything else is either Blu-ray or 4K. I am addicted to getting 4K releases, as many of stuff that I love. I had forgotten, so you can't see it, but where the police, so if you look at that photo where Christmas Vacation is, next to it is Police Academy. In between Police Academy and Tron is Transformers the movie. I forgot the Shout Factory release was 4K Blu-ray. I have Transformers the movie on 4K, and I have a 4K television with a 4K 40th anniversary next year. Let's friggin' go. Anyway, so, you know, I'm just addicted to the physical media of it all because physical media matters. I don't have to pay anybody for this stuff anymore. I already bought my shit. I'm good. I got it. I can watch this stuff at any time that I want. And this isn't even the photo there that I sent you. This isn't even, like, I have Batman Beyond, the complete series with Return of the Joker on Blu-ray. Like, I didn't even pull that out. Like, I have Power Rangers Dino Thunder. I have a bunch of other things that are in my closet. I have a whole here, I'll show you this. I have I think it's 120 or 150. Look how old school I am, dude. That whole thing is full with every single disc that I am showing him.
Funny.
This CD bookcase thing that, you know, people used to use in the late 80s, early 90s, folks. all of that thing. Like, I need to buy another one of those because that thing is full. It's got like 3 sleeves left open. And the thing of it is like yeah, like I would rather go around and just carry that with me and have all my media with me than worry about what's on Netflix this week and what isn't on Netflix this week. Oh,
No, I mean, I get where you're coming from. Like, I don't have the funds to go back out and buy all this stuff. Like, some of it I used to have, some of it I didn't. It's just,
and to be clear, I buy them when I can. I did not buy them like I didn't go out on a shopping spree and spend like $500 in 4K media all at once. No, these are gotten over time. That Las Vegas set that's in that picture, that literally just came out last year. So I bought that when it came out. Like, I didn't like buy this all at once. Like, the Viper set came out in 2019 for the whatever anniversary it was of Viper. You know, like, I bought all this stuff gradually when I could. So yeah. But yeah. Yeah. Physical media matters, folks. Hashtag physical media matters. Because it does. If you don't think so, wait until the internet craps out and we all just have, electricity and we're all just, I'm telling you. So I've lived in the apartment that I'm in now for three and a half years. This apartment loses power every time a single crack of lightning or a single thunderclap happens. Like, I don't know what it is. No, I'm not kidding. Don't sticker at that. It ain't funny because it really isn't funny. But seriously, it will lose power, or I don't know what it is with Xfinity. I pay something like $100 for gigabit internet to Xfinity a month, which is fine. I don't mind. It's in my budget to pay that, which is fine. But the times when I lose connection to the internet, and I'm like, serious? Are you kidding me, modem? What the hell's going on now? Like, what? Really? Seriously? So there was a night where I lost connection to the internet. Well, guess what I did? I pulled out one of these DVDs and I threw it in the DVD player and I turned my TV on and I sat in bed and watched whatever it was. So again, physical media matters. And the final story before we get to our topic thing that we have tonight, because we do have a little bit of a topic. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. We have a topic, don't we? But the final story is something that I wanted to make sure I brought up because I have been asking and wondering what DC is going to do, and we now have our answer. Not exactly the answer I was hoping for, but I'm curious and interested. But Batman Beyond gets cool new suit in upcoming DC Elseworlds series. Fans of Batman Beyond have been dreaming for years about seeing the futuristic Dark Knight on the big screen, and if that ever happens, this latest suit redesign would give Bruce Wayne's Bat wardrobe a serious run for its money. While we're still waiting on any film or TV news, Terry McGinnis is making his return in comic form, starring alongside Static in a brand new crossover event titled Batman/Static Beyond under the DC Elseworlds imprint. This 6-issue limited series written by Evan Narcisse. Sorry, Evan, if I screwed that up. Who has written Rise of the Black Panther and Batman Gotham Knights, Gilded City, with artwork by Nicholas Draper Ivy, who did work on Static Shadows of Dakota, brings fans back to the familiar timeline of Batman Beyond, featuring appearances by the Justice League Beyond. But what's really catching everyone's attention is Batman Beyond's suit design, revealed by Draper Ivy on social media, along with fresh looks at Static Deacon and the new villain shut down. Dun, dun, dun. Both Sharon McGinnis and Virgil Hawkins are getting shut down costume upgrades named after the series' main antagonist. While each new look brings something unique to the table, the redesigned Batsuit is the clear standout. So, yeah, this is coming later this year, I believe. Batman Beyond hits shelves Wednesday, November 12th. I cannot wait for this. I don't know what story is going to be. Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't love the mouthpiece or like the Nolan verse bat armor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just looks weird to me. Like that's all. And then they gave him kind of Bruce's cape with a red interior, almost like. I mean, it's a different reimagining. I get that because it's an Elseworlds, but
yeah, I think the cape is, and I don't know because I haven't read it because it doesn't come out till November. But looking at this drawing, and I started following the writer and the artist on Instagram and stuff, and I saw the artist post the stuff. Maybe the cape is only for partial. Maybe it's just to show the design off. Because if you look at the back photo here next, it's not. I don't know. The cowl is okay. The cowl kind of honestly kind of reminds me of Snake Eyes, the mouthpiece a little bit.
I can kind of see that.
Interesting. And I don't know why, and I'm not trying to be creepy or rude or crude or anything, but I swear a certain section of his pants looks like it has a face on it. Like the right side of right where his crotch is looks like that's an eye hole. And then the whole other, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, Batman Beyond, Batman/Static Beyond, number 1, November 12th. DC Comics Elseworlds Tale. Finally, new Batman Beyond comic. Yay.
They still need a live action movie.
I know. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I just want a new animated series. I know technically we could do a new animated series because Will is still around. You could then put
he
Michael
said he won't do it though.
Really?
Yeah, even in that article.
When did he say it?
Will Friedle, who voiced Terry in the original animated series, told fans he doesn't see himself stepping back into the role with the passing of Kevin Conroy in 2022. He says, if you asked me that question 3 years ago, the answer would be, oh, yes. Get me in front of that microphone right now. Now that Kevin's gone, I don't know if I can do it again. I think they'd have to recast both roles.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. See, I was thinking if you do, that's where you get your Keaton. That's where you can get him and get Keaton. And that's where you get your Keaton Batman back in. But I completely understand and respect him for saying that. Because obviously, obviously it's Kevin. So, and again, I'm perfectly, as long as they continue to do Batman Beyond comic, I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't necessarily need a Batman Beyond film. I don't necessarily need, because heaven forbid they do a Batman Beyond film and they ruin it. They don't do it right. They don't get the right people to do it. And I'm not saying the right people meaning they don't get Will. I mean, they don't get the right actors for those roles. I'm perfectly fine with it just being comics. The animated series and the animated film with Return of the Joker is more than fine 26 years later. Like, literally, I just popped in the disc for Out of the Past the other day, and I watched that episode again, and I was like, yeah, this is good. We don't need more. We've got it. We've got it on media. It's good. All right. Topic time.
Yeah, so the big one is I sent this to you earlier this week, and I was like, and it comes from Cinema One, but it's oddly enough still like Yahoo Entertainment or something.
Yeah.
It says nobody gives a F what celebrities think, says Seth MacFarlane. Why he created the Orville. And Reader's Digest version of this is he created the Orville as a counterbalance to the pessimistic tone of most of television shows today, aiming to provide viewers with a more optimistic and kind of aspirational message. And he's, more or less said that, he believes that Hollywood has the power to influence people positively through storytelling, emphasizing the importance of showcasing heroes and worlds that inspire viewers to make the right choices. The show's not coming back, but he's moved on. The studio's kind of moved on. It ended up in kind of limbo. But it was a Hulu exclusive. It was kind of a comedic take on Star Trek: The Next Generation, in a sense. And he was even on Enterprise for a short stint back in the day. And he was like, discussing the fact that, we're serving up these dishes of just dystopian and pessimistic stuff that, it's very one-sided. Which honestly, I think is why the Orville did so well, was because Trek fans were like, this feels like Star Trek. And at the time we were getting Discovery and Picard season 1, and we were like, what is this crap? you know? I certainly, like, I was looking at the ratings from people and, Rotten Tomatoes just to see what it was getting. And, this show had a critic rotten, but a viewer highly positive.
Right.
And I found it very humorous that this particular show was kind of doing so well considering what it was. I also liked the moral conundrums that it asked when you watch the show.
Yep.
Whereas the new stuff is kind of just shoving in your face what they think you should do with everything. I do agree with him, and I wish he would get the Star Trek franchise, because he could do some great things with it. But unfortunately, we're with Kurtzman, who doesn't care. He doesn't like Star Trek as it was. He doesn't care about honoring the past. He's like, I just want to tear it all down and make something new with the Star Trek name.
And that's not the way to go.
No, and that's why MacFarlane made his own thing very similar to Star Trek, but it was good.
Yeah.
And he, he thinks we should, get stories about heroes that we want to be and about worlds that we may be able to live in if people make the right choices. And, he mentions that, they're certainly giving us a lot of cautionary tales, but where are the blueprints that they once gave us for how to do things correctly? It can't be just, here's what's going to happen if you mess it up. You do need, here's what you can achieve if you change your ways and do the right things. He said he uses the old He-Man cartoon series as an example of a show that gave him the sort of aspirational message that he now thinks is lacking in pop culture. He said He-Man would occasionally save his own enemies because he knew that it was the right thing to do, which, old Star Trek did. Kirk, Picard, Cisco, Janeway. Janeway, that's the whole reason they got stranded in the Delta Quadrant, was because they refused to, buckle under the, pressure of it. And, MacFarlane doesn't think that we have as many heroes on screen who act as examples of the sort of people we should want to be. And that we should be making these positive stories. And that's something that Hollywood should be doing because he believes that Hollywood can impact people in a positive way, which I agree. He says, while some celebrities try to affect change by speaking out politically, MacFarlane doesn't think that really works, and it doesn't. He says because people don't care. What people care about are the stories these celebrities tell. He said it's only the only thing really that Hollywood can do that's worthwhile, because he says, as we all learned from the elections, nobody gives a crap what celebrities think. We can tweet, we can talk, like people don't care. They don't care. What we do well is tell stories, and we're not doing the best job right now of telling those stories in a way that gives people hope. Which is honestly probably why people are so divisive, is we're not getting that hope in our pop culture to aspire to and be like, this is a great example of where we should be, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, no. I don't know, dude. It just seems like, yeah, absolutely. And like, I can listen to a celebrity's opinion. I can, whatever their opinion may be. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not modeling myself after any celebrity. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. There's just too much gunk in Hollywood. And like, I wrote this thing up the other day because it was 11 years since Robin Williams passed. And you look at that guy. That guy faced a lot of stuff and he had a lot of demons. But every time I ever heard him on any interview, he was so positive, always just wanting to make everybody laugh and everything else. And he always said such positive, uplifting things. We need more people like that in Hollywood, kind of thing. Like, what's the one thing he said? He always used to say, everybody's struggling with some. I forget what the direct quote is, but something along the lines of, "You don't know what anyone's struggles are, so be." The end of the quote, I know what the end of the quote is: "Be kind always." Like, he would say that all the time, and I don't know. It's just like why is what? Other than the fact that in the news specifically, if it bleeds, it leads. Bad news will always lead the news, kind of thing. But like, in the 17 years I've been online specifically for podcasting, other things, it's like all the friends I've made and everything else, it's like somebody's always going through something. Something's always happening to somebody. Sometimes it's good, but unfortunately, most of the time it's bad. We just found out that a buddy of ours, and a really awesome dude, 88 Hoverboard is his online name. Dude named Jeff, he just lost his battle and he just passed a week ago. So very awesome dude. He would do Funko auctions on Whatnot and things like that. It just always was a positive force for the world and always helped out people when he could and everything else. But it's like, why can't the good news be the leader instead of the bad news? And I think going back to the Hollywood thing is more so because Hollywood thrives on the drama, the gossip, the this, the that, the whatever. And they thrive on the stuff that, if it bleeds, it leads. and it just sucks. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's not many people in Hollywood that I would really put stock into their opinion.
No, I agree with you. I just it was kind of refreshing to see MacFarlane,
Yeah.
how he was going to tackle that, because I mean anymore, like any of that stuff's like super taboo. It's like, oh, we can't talk about that. That's it can get into politics, or it can get into this, and it's like, well, he's not even talking about that. He's just talking about just people being decent and having something hopeful to look forward to.
Yeah.
That would help them not be as divisive, and to think,
and
to ponder. And that was what old Star Trek and old television did, is it didn't necessarily give you the answers or play out the way you think it did, but it caused you to think and have that moral dilemma of, what would I do in this situation?
You're gonna hate me for this. That's cause us to think. Mm-hmm. Anything that's worth thinking about in 2025 doesn't need, again, this is why we don't need artificial intelligence to do our thinking. We need actual intelligence to do our thinking. Oh, God. That's the problem. That's exactly the problem. And again, we need, okay, so folks, I don't know when, hopefully later this week, I am going to be publishing an episode of Geekcast Radio where I actually interview Mr. Megatron here about his new book. And I'm going to give him a little bit of a preview. I asked him a question about challenges, but none of my questions in the interview are negative. Like, I don't sit there and ask Steve. I'm not going to ask Steve about, oh, what was your most downtime, or what was the worst part of this process for you, or like in 16 and a half years of this network, of the Geekcast Radio Network, we've done a few things. We've given you a few headshots, and we've done some negative things in the past, yes, but generally we try and do our best to put out a positive message. We do have differing, sometimes negative opinions about certain pieces of media and things like that, but we're not out here attacking people or anything like that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh my God, just like, no, like, we want to be able to put out positivity. The power of positivity compels you. And yeah, I know I said that kind of sarcastically, but it's true. And it's just like, again, like, I don't know, just, I'm all for paying attention to any celebrity and listening to any celebrity with a positive message. Again, going to, unfortunately, the people that we've lost this year, Malcolm Jamal Warner, that dude, oh my God, so much positivity in that dude's life as far as his messages and everything else, and all this and all that and whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I always just paid attention to real life. I never really, I paid attention to celebrities, but I never, again, I come from a world of, I grew up in fiction. I didn't pay attention to the celebrity part of, again, I'll use this as an example because it's the example I keep seeing all the time lately. The Cosby Show. I paid attention to that fictional family on that fictional television show because those writers and those creators made that show. I did not pay attention to Malcolm Jamal Warner, the teenager, or the adult. I did not pay attention to Felicia Rashad, the adult. I did not pay attention to Bill Cosby, the adult. outside of that show as a child of the 80s when I was watching it. Still to this day, I look at that show as this is the fictional family. You know what I mean? Like, so that's how I see Celebrity. I don't see it as paying attention to them in real, I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
No, I get it. And yeah. So I think that rounds out this episode of Altered Geek.
Yup.
Episode 450. Let us know what you guys want to hear on the next episode, or we'll end up grabbing whatever geeky conversation pieces that we find and stumble across over the time between now and the next episode. So thank you as always for listening to Altered Geek. I've been your host, Steve Megatron, with TFG and Mike, and be sure to check out the episode post on geekcastradio.com and your favorite podcatcher. You can, of course, interact with us there. And I'm on Twitter at SCP21. And you yourself, sir?
I'm at TFG and Mike.
So until next time, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks.
From classic icons to new sci-fi dreams, with every episode we'll unravel the themes. Let's geek out and laugh, keep the spirits high. Together we'll journey, reaching for the sky. Join the discussion, let's dive into lore. From Star Trek to Transformers, we're ready to soar. Superheroes clash as we spark up the flame. Altered Geek Podcast, remember the name.